Okay, let's go again. So, Boesemine 2188. Has he been winning all his games recently? Quite a few of them. What about Dutch Stonewall or something? That looks like attacking sometimes. Plays D3, yes, for quick E4. That's a good method with D4, good system. Get this bishop out. Bishop D7 to E8, H5. Bishop doesn't look that bad. Okay. Bishop D6 here. Does it take? On F4. Or Bishop F7. I think Bishop F7 is better. Knight G5 though. Knight G5 is a bit of a pain. Queen E8. Queen E8 is an alternative. Less committal. Otherwise he's going to get this bind on E5. Like Queen E8. Setting E6 and H5 actually effectively Bishop F6 doesn't win the piece. Straight off the bat, that's a bit of luck there. E6, H5 being protected. How about G5? Take Knight E5. Knight takes for G5 maybe, or I mean F4 something. I think Knight takes, otherwise Knight E5. Got rid of the bad bishop. Something like Knight D7 if given the chance, but he's going to play Knight E5, isn't he? Knight E5 here. Position a bit loose. It's Knight D7, H6 G5. Yes. Okay, Knight E6 clearly is a threat now. Decoying. I'm just putting the knight back for a moment. Reinforce D5 and play H6 after, maybe Knight G4 after that. This does give me the chance for Knight E7 actually. If I get control of E5, that'd be nice. Oh, take here. don't know. Then h6. There's e5. Takes. I don't know. I think f file in principle, just open the f file is probably. I'm going to take on c4 first. There's e5. I'll take this. And h6 e5. Maybe bishop e5 takes hg. If he plays knight f3 to knight e4, knight h3. There isn't knight e4 because it takes it on d6. That's tricky, a lot of pressure on e4 there. Doesn't look good actually, knight h3. Knight h3, problem time. Bishop c5, just trying to target f2. Take knight g4, so no, there's no knight g4. Okay, problem. Okay, I think just maybe knight d7, sack this pawn. Control e5 for a moment, take c5, pawn sack. Not particularly hot, but not totally losing immediately. He does want to take that, doesn't he? Yes, because you'll be winning the bishop, so it takes, I think, c5. Trying to clamp down on dark squares. At least knight f4 is ruled out. So something like queen f7, rook e8, knight e4 might be looking good for pawn. I know pawn down, but a bit of pressure. Queen f7, rook e8. Okay. Well, there's rook e6 here is pretty nasty. And rook a6 is the defense. Otherwise, pawn moves, that's the end of the game, I think. So I think rook a6, I can try and evict that rook after. Rook a6 is a useful result, I think. Maybe c5, knight c5 after. Okay, not nice. Bishop f1, rook b6. If I play c5, knight c5, doesn't have to move that. Maybe he would. If he did, that's g5, g4. Oh dear. Or knight, I don't know. Knight here to c7. Knight h5. He's protecting f2 anyway. That rook, for the moment, rook b6. Try and be annoying. Knight d5 doesn't quite work, bishop d5. Oh, rook b6. Interesting. Somewhat difficult. So queen g6, Queen G4. Exchange of queens might be good here. Okay. Plan. I think Queen G6. Yeah, that does seem good in the circumstance. Let's just get the queens off there. Then, I don't know. Take it from there. Can't evict this rook. Horribly installed on E6. Unless Rook F7, Knight F8. That's one way of evicting the rook. Probably falls victim to Bishop E5. Pin on B6. Tactically, is Rook B3 any good? Rook D6? Nope. What about Bishop C7? Bishop B8? Oh, he wants the exchange of queens as well. I did want it before. Do I want it here? Probably. Probably okay to exchange off queens, considering I'll take the queens off. Can I evict this rook now? Or rook E8? Or bishop C7, just bishop. G5, just to keep this. F6 is dropping. Rook D8 for knight F8. That might do the trick against bishop E5. Nope. Maybe. Possibly. I mean, I'll try it. Don't see an immediate refutation. Protect this rook again. And A5. If he wants to take on. Well, I think I have to do something about that. If bishop A5, yeah, that's a good tactic. Well, I can't do anything about it. Maybe, don't know. Horrible. I can take and take on A3, I suppose. Bishop remains hemmed in. There'll be knight F4 coming in. Might be a passed C pawn there. Anything else apart from? Oh dear. Now it gets worse. This rook is total pain. B5 takes rook B6. It's not good. Disaster this morning, I'm afraid. Not good. I can't think that's less evil move. B5. Try and lose the exchange. About losing a piece. If I get a chance for knight F8, oh, it's a distant dream. Wow. Bishop A5, rook B5, bishop D8. knight f. I have to move this one as well after. Bishop f8. Bishop f8. So I'm on b3 at least. Good news. I'm on d5 as well. So b5 and d3. Right, better than losing a piece. Definitely lesser evil implementation, so okay. Is it going to speed up here? 4 minutes to go. Nearly 4 minutes to go only. Why is he giving me d5? Is that a special present? d5? Rook d2, I suppose, some sort of trap. I'll do it anyway. There's knight f6, isn't there, anyway? So c4 on the cards. b4, c3, I don't know. So situation, I need 2 pawns in the exchange down. Could be worse. 2 knights, bishop, rook. There's rook b8 and c4, maybe c3. Bit of fight left. Oh, there's a few pieces on. I'm spending like 30 seconds to move. There's a bit of hope. Why do you spending 30 seconds to move with like 3 minutes to go? What moves is that? It's like 6 moves or something. Okay, if I play rook b8 here, bet this guy. Now I'll just reinforce the knights, or g5. G5 keeps options open, closes down the knight, bishop g7, knight f6, that sort of thing. If this knight's out of play, it's like being a piece up for a moment. Okay, so knight f6 here. If I get an open file, that's good news. Rook e8. I think you have to challenge it with rook e2 again. And bishop g7, that's off c5 though. Okay. Why is he thinking again? Is knight e4 good hit? No, knight e4 loses d5. g4, knight f2. I don't want to lose that pawn particularly. Yeah, okay. Unfortunately, the knight gets centralized. I lose some squares. What's the answer? Rook a8. Try and win another pawn. Where's the bishop go? b4, there's c4. That's good. That looks embarrassing actually, because this bishop is also looking silly on a5 now. If b4, c4, what do you do about c3? Alright, so I think I'm getting something. It's more fun than before anyway. So that bishop is like locked out of the game. What about bishop h6 here for g4? Bishop h6 just to play, hold on to the pawn for a moment longer and play g4. So this bishop hasn't got any squares, and nor b5. That's funny. What about just getting the king in the game, given that a4 b5 is ruled out at the moment? If I get the king to e4, I'll be laughing. Get the king in the game, I think. It was knight d1. Knight d1, it's going to spoil the fun. So I can play a check, king f2. Knight d1 will spoil the fun here. g4, what about g4? Knight d1, bishop d2. Bishop d2 defends that pawn, unless he wants to give me back in exchange. Ouch. Right, bishop d2, I'll lose a pawn. It's a shame. It's bishop now free to move. Well, not yet. Giving up the exchange here. Okay, get the king in. Unfortunately, there's bishop b6 on the cards. So, knight d6 to c4. Hmm. 1 minute 26. I will offer a draw, I think, or something. Or not. Maybe better not. Probably a bit rude. 4 pawns down. But he's under a bit of pressure to win this in time. Okay. We can get rook c2 in. Okay. Has he got everything under control? g4, okay, h3. Hold on a sec. Get a king blockade for a moment, or not? Rook c4 or king f6? Question. Rook a1 here, so for a check over there. This g4 looks pretty menacing. Can't see what to do about g4 particularly. We check here. No. I think I'll put pressure on a3 for a moment. So check, knight g2 is rook d2. So back here. Try and get a new blockade. That was 97 bishop d6. Okay, not good. Let's check. Okay. It's speeded up considerably. If I take rook b3 or rook a1, I don't think it makes any difference. There's knight h8 if I want to maybe blockade literally. It's g6. d7's bishop d6. So lesser evil time again. Maybe knight h8 and knight f7. Knight h8, bishop d6 and rook g8, so I think I'll take. Right, so there's rook h8, or trying to take here first. I think I'll play this to stop g6. Try and stop g6. Yes, looks pretty grim. Pretty grim. I think he's going to do it with 40 seconds left. Isn't he? I thought just g6 was winning there. Just sacking pawn for a moment. What is this? Plan. Yep. Seconds. It's giving me a blockade. Ten seconds. 5. Yep. Oh dear. What a game. That's a perfect antidote. Dutch Stonewall. For d3 and e4, just because he omitted d4, completely forgot about this. He hasn't played d4, so he plays d3, very good, and playing for e4, very effective stuff. Didn't get much of a game here. Pawn sack, installed rook on e6. Just playing lesser evil stuff. It's really thought I had some sort of game for a moment. Then that horrible tactic like g4 again, brutal. And anyway, so yeah, it's pretty tough this morning. Whoa. And then, okay, I thought he was taking too long there to finish me off, but I did it in the end. Comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks so much.